Welcome back, everyone, to video number 4 in our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. Now, we're back here on the home screen, and if you watched the previous video, number 3 in the series, then you know that things probably could not have gone much worse at our second race of the year. So we're hoping for better things at Milan. Let's definitely hope so, because not much went well there. We've got, let's see, only 2 scouting reports that are still in progress. That means we've got 1 that has been completed, 10 more days, and we'll have some more performance parts, 15 for that. And so we're up and running. Now it's time to design a new part. However, we're getting to the portion of the season where you can see we've got $2.46 million, which sounds like a lot until you realize that a lot of the development takes $1 million or more. And we're only making between 150, 170,000 per race. So that's not going to do it. So we're either going to need to focus on things like the cheaper alternatives. None of this is cheap, but the cheaper alternatives, and leave things like the engine alone and only do the gearbox sparingly, or maybe we don't do that much development at all and focus more on the building. So again, a lot of choices in this game. It's one thing I love about it. I failed horribly in the last race after the elation of the great results in the first race. I love that about this game, and hopefully that will continue going forward. Only next time I fail, maybe it won't be so much because of the mistakes I made. Maybe I just won't make those mistakes next time. All right, so let's take a look at, headquarters. Again, nothing is going to change here, because if we try to upgrade buildings, well, 8 million, we're nowhere near $8 million. Now, we could get, of course, we're here now, but at 2.2 million, but of course that would limit everything else we do. And the scouting facility, it would allow us to unlock more drivers to scout, or engineers, or whatever the case may be, but still, that's not going to do us that much good. We need something for a big bang for the buck. Now, the forecasting center would have really come in handy in the last race, but again, that's $6 million. We just don't have that kind of money, or 5.7, anything like that. So let's take a look at our staff, and let's look at the details of our lead designer. What I think I want to do is let's really go with what she does well, and that's brakes and suspension. Okay, engine, we can't mess with that. I'm not sure what we're going to do for engine, but for right now, we have no shot there. So we're going to stick with brakes and suspension. Front wing and rear wing, we can't mess with anyway, because those are spec parts. So we're going to hang with these 2. Now, we'll need to mess with the gearbox as well. We'll need to upgrade everything. But brakes and suspension, we're really going to put a focus on for the car development. Now, with that in mind, where do we want to go? Well, I'm thinking we want to upgrade our brakes, because you can see brakes are lagging a little bit behind our suspension. So let's go ahead and work on that. All right, so our next race is in 24 days, which is good for us because it gives us a little bit of time. Now, I'm not interested in messing around with scrutineering any at all, but let's see. All right, can I do anything else? All right, so I know I have to spend $100,000 to do that. So we get 2 components here. Let's go ahead and do, wow, not really what I was looking for, but okay, let's go ahead and do deceleration and reliability. Okay, I think that's going to be good for now. That way we get some good performance increase and also some good reliability. And so now we're getting, this component will be done 7 days before the race. That is excellent. It's going to cost $650,000. Racing costs tons of money, and we have learned that the hard way. They're not working on anything right now as far as improving parts, because they're still repairing the cars from the previous race. Okay, so if we come back in, let's see what's on our calendar. Okay, we just finished up the race. They're about to repair the cars. Let's go ahead and hit continue. Okay, so now we come out of there. We get the message that says both of these cars have been repaired. Now they can get back to the business of improving our parts. And let's see what we're working on. Again, we're working on reliability because things are either breaking or getting very close to breaking, and we need to try to help that as much as possible. These are going to be done 10 days before the race, so that's good. And we just need to continue that trend. Unfortunately for us, as much as I would love to increase performance, it's just not there for us. Now, one thing I did see here, you can see that the better option may be to swap these. So let's take a look and see if that's something that we can do. Let's see. I'm really, really not sure. But let's see. We've got 3% and 0.2%. There we go. So 3% and 1%. I'm not actually sure. Let's see, 14 days before the race, 10 days. Okay, so it's better for us to put our better engineer over here on this one, or I won't keep wanting to say engineer, race mechanic is what they're calling them. Okay, so I like that, 14 days before the race, so maybe we'll have an opportunity to get one or two more parts done as well. And then it looks like later on in the game, as we upgrade our factory, we'll have more options in here to put more parts in. That's excellent. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so let's go back into our calendar and let's see what else is coming. All right, so it looks like the big boys, the Tier 1, basically the Formula 1 cars or the World Championship, here are racing in Beijing. Okay, now we're getting to, looks like we're about to have one of the voting on rule changes section coming up, and they're going to be we're going to be voting on a change to one of the tracks. So that's going to be exciting coming up. All right, so we're running race events. Again, this is for the World Motorsport Championship or the Tier 1 Formula 1 type event, so we're not too terribly worried about that because we got our own problems to deal with right now. Okay, we're back in here and let's continue. You can see here, reliability work done. Excellent. We're almost there, but we got cut off because there is an interview request. And don't really want to do that. We'll see what kind of effect that has on us. All right, we've got some new mail here. Pit stop training. All right, let's see what we've got here. I've heard from some of the friends that they spend time practicing their pit stops in a dedicated facility. Okay, that sounds good. Wonder if we could take our pit crew down there ourselves. Pit crew stop. Well, for the money, that is expensive, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. We need all the help we can get. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, now our reliability work is now finished. Excellent. That's exactly what I like to hear. And okay, let's go back to our car screen. Okay, we got about 6 days left in our new part. And now we're ready to come back in. And let's go ahead and fill this up and move our staff back over. Okay, it looks like it's going to take them a while for that, but we're trying to improve our engine, which is awesome. That's what we want. We want more reliability out of the engine and then out of the gearbox. Excellent. That's what we're looking for. So let's go back with that underway and let's continue. And it looks like the next thing up is our vote. Okay, let's go ahead and head on over to the vote. Here we are. So if I check my mail, we've got a new vote started. So let's head into the politics of all this. So here we go. We want to replace Milan, which is where we're about to go, and replace that with Beijing. Let's take a look at what they're wanting to do. This track might look familiar to those open wheel fans among you. And so we want to replace this track with the track in China. Now, this is an odd looking track for sure. So I think what it really comes down to is high speed, heavy braking, and a lot of probably downforce on this type track. So for us, this track probably would be better because we don't have a good strong engine. So I am going to go ahead and vote for this. And then let's continue. We'll skip to the end. and conclude. It gets approved. 4, 3 abstained, and then 3 voted against. So the track will be changed out next year. So that's how it works. And you'll get multiple of these throughout the season, I would imagine. But that is, okay, that's what we want to see. So that will change, and we can go to the rules screen to see that the track has been replaced. All right, let's go ahead and continue. All right, looks like our new brakes are now complete. As we see here, performance work in the factory is now finished. So we're going to help out with the reliability team. Okay, excellent. That's what I like to hear. And our brakes build has been completed, 55% reliability, which is right on the edge of being able to make it through a race, really. And sometimes won't make it through a race. So, okay, we're in good shape there. Let's go back to our car. Okay, no designing going on right now. Let's fit the new brakes. All right, so where are brakes? Here they are. And you can see reliability 100% for these brakes, but the good brakes only have 55%. So this is interesting. Actually, let's go ahead and autofill this, autofill there. And you can see that the two that are being used, there's a good bit more reliability here. I'm almost tempted to swap these out. But our driver likes to have the best car, and she doesn't care all that much, apparently. So we'll leave it as is. Although if she starts to outperform Sergio, then we'll be swapping some things out, and he'll just have to deal with it. Okay, let's come back out to the car, and now they're working on reliability, and hopefully they get done. Let's see, what do we have here? 6 days after this. Okay, so we're not going to quite get to where we need to be for the engine reliability before the race. Okay, so now let's come back in, and we've got more mail, and it's from our scout. All right, let's see. He says he would be one of the very best drivers. Wow. On top of that, his potential is good, and seeing him improving. Okay, wow, that is excellent. That's what I like to see. So this is Lissandro, and let's go ahead and take a look at Lissandro. Wow. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. And excellent. So what traits does he have? Oh, he's a great teammate. Good. Okay, that is excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's see if we can approach this driver. He's interested, and let's start the negotiations. Okay, my status isn't too important. Okay, I'm going to give him equal status because his stats tell me that he's pretty good. All right, wages are fairly important. Let's go ahead and let's see, what is the max? Wow, you can go way up there with the max. Okay. Let's go ahead and do about 397 short-term contract. Okay. And let's see. Let's go ahead and try to lock him up for medium. I know he prefers short, but we shall see. Okay, signing bonus. We're going to have to be very careful here because, again, we're running low on money. Okay, so let's go with, let's try 180. Bonus size isn't very important, so we're going to go ahead with that. And let's go ahead and continue that on. Okay, so we have an opportunity to get a driver who's a number 3 with a possibility of being almost into the 5-star category, so a little over 4, maybe 4.25. Okay, and let's see, with that in mind, let's go to scouting and see if there's any more available for us to scout. We have 2 empty slots. Let's see, Lorenzo. Nope, we have not scouted. And then we'll scout her as well. Okay, with that out of the way, let's move on. It's almost time to begin our travels for our next race. Okay, we've got a couple of races in the upper tier series moving here. Again, not terribly worried about how they turn out. We got our own issues. Okay, so it's going to be a while before we get there. And let's go ahead and continue and head to our next race. All right, let's hope we do better than we did last time. Okay, I think everything is ready. So let's go ahead and choose. And once again, we're going to choose 16th or above. Can't wait till we get enough performance that we can attempt to do this. Okay, it's saying that looks like we're projected to make a little over 200,000 there. Okay, fit parts in here. Again, we just took care of this, but we're going to go ahead and autofill this just to make sure. Okay, and with that out of the way, let's go ahead and hit race. Let's get started with our practice session. We pick our drivers here. Let's go ahead and work on setup options. And let's change our first setup. And we're going to start here with a very low downforce setup. This is all brakes and engine at this track. So we're going to go ahead and set this very low and see how that works out. Again, we're more toward the right side of the downforce green area, toward the left side of the handling area. Let's go ahead and make the suspension very stiff. Well, can't make it too terribly stiff, I guess, unless I come in with a little more. No. Okay, we're going to leave that as is, and we're going to use some fairly long ratios here, even outside. But that's where I want to start, and then we're going to see how that works out. Okay, we're going to be on the medium tire, and that is perfectly fine with me. Let's go into, I'm going to call her Ariel. I know that's not exactly what her name is, but I'm not sure what to call her, so I'm going to go and call her Ariel. Okay, we're going to give her a little bit more downforce, and once again, give her longer gear ratios and a stiffer suspension. Again, I know it's outside the recommendations, but we're going to see how it works out. Okay, I want her to go out on medium tires. And did I put him on medium? Yes, I want them both to be on medium right now. Okay, with that, we take a look at our forecast. Doesn't appear to be any rain in the forecast. Maybe a touch in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and continue and get our practice started. All right, so we're in the garage. Let's go ahead, send him out. We've already made our changes. Our stint is going to be for 1 lap. Go ahead and on medium tires, go ahead and do that. And let him get going just a little bit. Now we're going to send out our second driver. Again, a 1 lap stint on medium tires. Send her out. Now let's fast forward and let's see what happens. We'll move ahead here to our top driver. All right, and let's see. Let's move this around a little bit. Move this camera around. And there you can see the banking there at a track that is not Monza. Always love that banking. All right, so the suspension is struggling with these tight corners. Okay, so we might need to soften him up a little bit. Okay, and then she looks at it and says, can we stiffen up the handling? So, all right, so definitely some differences in driver feedback. We've got some rain coming down. The track is getting more and more wet, but that's okay. We're coming in now, so we got the information that I believe we need from that particular stint. Now we're on the in lap. We should tone down the arrow. It's far too high. Okay, I actually thought I had his down really low. Okay, so let's see what kind of times we're getting here. And let's see, 122.6 versus 117. So we're way off the pace, but that's okay. We kind of expected that. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready to send him back out. And let's see what we've learned. Okay, very poor on the downforce. Okay, so he wants more downforce. Okay, so let's go ahead and put him here. And in fact, let's go ahead and increase that more. All right, so we're going to head in the opposite direction here. Okay, give him a little bit more tire camber. And the gear ratios, what did he think there? Okay, he didn't like those at all. All right, we're going to move those down to about there. And the handling, we're going to make it a little bit softer for him. Continue this. Tire choice, we're going to send him off on a new set of medium tires. At least I think we are. No, we are not. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go with intermediates on him. Let's go ahead and send him out. Now let's deal with car number 2. And she had some strong opinions about her car. Okay, downforce, she did not like it at all. So the low downforce didn't seem to be suiting either one of our drivers. Okay, we'll increase that some. Handling, very poor, and very poor speed balance. Okay, so we're going to come down to much shorter gears. And the suspension, we're going to bring down a few notches as well. Stick with the same stint. And once again, we're going out on inters, as it seems to be raining more and more here. Okay, so they'll make the changes in the garage. And all right, now here he comes out for his out lap. Okay, and she is right behind. Okay, excellent. Let's see what we've got. The track looks like it's going to be damp for long enough for us to get the information we need, and then it looks like it may start to dry out in the weather forecast. But by the time that happens, we will probably be done with practice, so our timing may be pretty good here. Yeah, I think we're going to be in good shape for both of our cars being on inters here. Okay, let's see what kind of feedback they've got for us. The aero is so much nicer. Okay, so both of them are really liking the increased aero. I was thinking because of the long straightaways at this track that we'd want reduced aero, but apparently that is not the case. We're going to spin this camera around a little bit. So they both like the increased aero. All right, let's see if they have anything to say about the suspension itself. Okay, it looks like the track is drying out. All right, handling is much better. Excellent. The gearing is weird. Okay, so looks like I may have went a little bit too short on the gear ratios for both. Okay, now here we go. Spin our camera around here. We can see them in the garage. So we're going to try to send them out one more time. Now, if we compare our two setups, you can see this one is much better. So now we're good on downforce. So saying great there. And the handling is better than it was before. And let's see about the speed balance. Speed balance is still okay. All right, so we're going to, let's see, what did we have on the speed balance before? Okay, so we're going to try to hit somewhere in the middle here, about right there for the speed balance. And downforce is great, so we're not going to touch that. Let's see, I don't want to put too much camber in the tire, although I'm not sure that's actually going to matter all that much. I'm not sure which of these, I'm not sure if these actually matter with regards to themselves, like tire pressure affects tire wear, or if it just matters in how it affects over here. So we'll see. All right, so what are we feeling about the handling itself? It's just okay. So really, they're not terribly happy with anything. Okay, so we'll stay in the same neighborhood, and we're going to send him back out. And it looks like the dampness is going away, so we're going to head back to the medium tires and send him out. Okay, and now let's work on Ariel's car. Okay, downforce is good. Okay, handling is great. All right, so we're good there. Speed balance has been poor the entire time. So it looks like our speed balance is going to be pretty bad here. We're going to get somewhere in the middle and see if we can't get this a little bit better. For downforce, I know she said it was pretty good. I'm actually going to move a little bit farther toward high downforce and see if she likes that a bit more. Okay, with that in mind, let's go to our tire choices, and we want medium tires. And okay, here we go. And All right, here he goes, and she should be out right behind him. Yes, here she comes. And so we've got less than a minute left to go, and hopefully we can get the information we need from this session. And so we're headed towards 0. All right, checkered flag. Let's see what happens. Do they allow us to get? No, they didn't allow us to even get a lap in. Okay. All right, but we do get something. Okay, excellent, great, and good, great, good, and great. Okay, wow. I don't know that we can get a whole lot better than that. That is exactly what we're looking for. So now we'll get ready for the green flag of the race. And I think I'm going to stick with the setups that we just had. Okay, if we look at the times, yes, I understand we are off the pace. Unfortunately, that is where we are right now because our car is just not very good. We're going to skip over the media reports because they are generally not going to be kind for us. And I would imagine that's going to remain the case until we are able to run better. Again, there's only, let's see, medium tire. Okay, so we've got intermediate tires and medium tires. Let's actually take a look at our weather forecast. Well, a little bit cloudy. I'm actually not sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to let the auto pick rain here. It looks like enters we may need. Just in case we do, we'll get a performance increase from those. All right, car setups, we're actually good with that. I do want to check on, let's see, tire choice. Oh, wow, we're going to be starting on those tires. Actually, I want to change that up a little bit. Do I want to go here? 9 to 11, 11 to 13. Let's go ahead and start on the medium tires. And again, that may be a horrible decision, but it should allow us to run a little bit longer and use up the full fuel. Okay, let's go tire choice. And we're going to put you on the super softs and split up our strategy. Okay, I like it. Here we go. So what do we want to do here? Well, I want her to push. Okay, I'm not going to set it all the way to the top, but I want her to push, and I do want her to overtake. I think her tires are going to give out before anything else. So, and we're going to have him start off on neutral because his components, I don't believe, have as good a condition, as good a wear numbers as hers do. So here we go. We're starting on 2 different tires, medium compound, and then the soft compound. Here we go. Let's go ahead and turn things up. Started in 2nd and 4th. Now, I would expect him to fall back early on. As I say that as he takes the lead, of course. But I would expect him to fall back because he's on the harder of the tire compounds. I would expect her to move forward, and she's actually moving backwards. So that is not good. We're falling back. Okay, now she's immediately complaining because she's falling back. Now they're both falling. She is falling way back. Okay, that is no good. And let's turn her back to neutral because she doesn't seem to be able to move forward at all when she's pressing. So not good. All right, in the meantime, she seems to be doing pretty good on tires. Not too far behind our other driver who is on medium tires. So we're already back to 14th and 19th. So the speed of our car is definitely no good. Oh, we've got a safety car. All right, with that in mind, let's go ahead and pause. I don't see any rain coming. And of course, we can't forecast very far out, but I don't see rain coming. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and we're going to hit the pits. Under this caution, we're going to have him put on some new harder tires and refuel. Let's go ahead and play it safe. And I'll tell you what, just let's leave it at balanced. Okay. And have him come in there. And we're going to have, do we want to have her come in as well? Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take this opportunity to put, I'll tell you what, she doesn't seem to be doing too well on the soft tires, so let's go ahead and put her on medium tires. Could be because we didn't practice on anything but the medium tires, so we're going to go ahead and stick with that. And pit strategy, there we go. So, parts are looking good. All right, so I think we're in good shape there. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Now, one thing I must say about the game that I wish was a little bit more, I wish you could speed things up a little bit more than you can. Um, Even at this level of this maximum level of ×3 speed, it's just not all that fast for me. Okay, so we're now 8th and 14th, so a very good pit stop here. Both are on medium tires. And we look at the weather. I still don't see any rain coming in the forecast, so let's hope we're in good shape. Okay, we got 1 lap left under the caution. 8th and 14th is not bad. Okay, 8th is definitely good, but I'll take the 14th as well. Let's take a look at our strategy, and we're going to put her at full neutral here, and that will match what we have for our other driver as well. We're so far so good, taking care of our components, and 48% is our minimum, and we are nearly halfway through the race. So that's good. Hopefully we can get through a race without having to worry about repairing anything. You can see here, our suspension, 89%. That's great. 69% is great. 86%. All of that is great. These are the 2 items that we worked on increasing the condition of and their longevity. So you can see that's definitely paying off, and we're happy about that. I'm a little worried about our brakes. So I tell you what, I'm going to have him conserve because his brakes are not in all that great a condition. On the other hand, our second car, not all that bad. Our lowest is 53%, so not bad at all. In much better shape than our what would be considered our leading car here in 8th. All right, so we're back to racing. Green flag is back out, and hopefully we don't get run into or run over. And once again, she just is not able to take care of starts or restarts. She is falling back again. All right, now, part of this is, I'm sure, because I do not have them on an aggressive strategy. But at this point in the season, I have to be concerned with the condition of our parts. We simply don't have that luxury of pushing all the time right now. Okay, we have enough fuel left for a little over 3 laps. And that should take us to our final pit stop, which should enable us to get to the end of the race. All right, once again, we'll take a quick look here and see if we're expecting any rain. I do not see any in the forecast. We're at 13th and 19th, so not necessarily wonderful there, but let's hope that we can basically outlast them. All right, so now he's got a problem. Let's take a look at parts condition. All right, we're going to have to fix the brakes. There's just no way around it. Okay, so we'll fix that. It's going to take an extra 6.5 seconds, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and cancel that for now. Okay, he's saying that he's driving too conservatively, so we'll go ahead and bump that up a little bit. Okay, so now we've got 3 laps left in the race. It's time to bring both in, and for these purposes, we want to put them on the fastest tires we can because I don't see any rain. Okay, fuel options. There will be 3 laps remaining, and that should be just enough. Okay, I'm going to take a chance here. No, I better go ahead and repair that because I do not want to drop out of the race doing that. Okay, let's try to get a good pit stop in here. All right. And we'll have her come into pit as well. Fuel options, there will be 3 laps remaining. That should be enough fuel. Nothing to repair there. And let's have them try to go as fast as possible. And we'll unpause the game. So the fuel is really the reason why we pitted there. All right, so I had them come in too close together. It would have been nice to spread that apart by a lap. Okay, so, but we're up in 13th position right now. That's good. We moved up to 17th for her, and hopefully we'll have, all right, condition. All right, we're looking good here. Let's go ahead and have them push. All right, excellent. Let's try to get the best finishing positions we can. 13th and 16th is good. All right, so engine problems. Luckily, we are at the very end of the race, so we're going to ignore that and hope that her engine, which is at 18%, let's hope it can last for a couple of more laps. Engine here is at 20%. Again, we're hoping it can last. And until future races where we can hopefully get some reliability built into more of these parts. All right, so 13th and 16th. And we're on the final lap. All right, excellent. So the race is ending, waiting for everyone to finish. We've got 16 cars to finish, and we are among those. So 12th, and looks like that's going to hold on. Yes. So we'll come in 12th. All right, 12th and 16th. Okay, so I'm not, that's not exactly what we wanted out of this race, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world either. It's better, nothing major happened in this race. If we can get some better parts, not even necessarily performance-wise, but rather from the standpoint of our reliability, I think we'll be in good shape. We have no risk. We're not taking any risk right now with scrutineering. Okay, so let's take a look. We did get one finish above 16th. We actually had both above that mark, so we'll get our bonus there. Let's take a look at the championship standings. We are at 16th and 18th after 3 rounds of 10. Okay, so not as good as we had hoped to do. The previous race really killed us in the team championship. We were down into 10th. Now we've moved up to 9th, but we have a pretty sizable gap up to 8th. But my goal is actually to get up into 7th at least before the end of the year. We'll see how close we can get to that. All right, we'll skip back past all of this. Some wonderful comments here. It looks like actual social media. All right, so even though we didn't do quite as well as we did in our first race, I think overall we had a good race, and it's probably about what I would expect from the car being at where it's at. All right, so morale, an excellent 20% boost there. He was very low before. And then a little bit of a boost here. Again, not as much because of the finishing position. So overall, not bad. He's getting better at driving. No changes here. So overall, not too bad. Okay, and the most important is to look at our results from the chairman. Expected result was 9th. Again, that's as a team. And we came in 8th, so we did good. Happiness went up by 12%, and marketability also went up. So that is an excellent result. We also picked up an additional $187,000. So not as much as we really need to continue our efforts in developing more components, but we're making money each race, and our progress is really moving forward. And so I really appreciate you joining me for episode 4 of our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager.